Yeah. I'm gonna kind of pretend that just never happened. Hey guys. Woo! All right. I feel so special right now. Hi everybody. So, yeah, oh, that's awkward. Let me like not have my finger there. Oh, so much better. So much better. Okay. So, I planned on filming today, actually this week, and a lot of it didn't happen for several circumstances, which I'm going to tell you all about now. Excuse me, I just finished eating. Sorry. I am picking up my husband from work right now. Yeah, yeah. He works on the river. Yay! I think I've told y'all about that. Maybe. Yes, no. Hold on. I know y'all did not like want that kind of close up of me, but whatever, that's fine. We're like practically family now. Yeah, so this week is basically what the title is. It has been Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like that's what I felt like doing for this entire week. So this week was supposed to be fun and relaxing and awesome, and it turned out to be kind of crazy. So Devin had this whole week off for spring break. Honestly, I felt kind of guilty because I didn't get to spend as much time with her and do as many things with her as I wanted to. Um, for several circumstances. One, we had to. Okay, what happened with Levi? As y'all know, he's had like a little bit of a medical history. But everything's fine. Like he's been cleared of all of it. Well, Wednesday, yes, Wednesday. Um, all of a sudden, I was giving him a bottle, and his left arm and his head, only that, just start shaking out of nowhere. And then right after that, he goes to sleep. I'm like, okay, I've been around doctors my entire life. I've been around neurologists my life. So I was like, Jesus, please do not let this be a seizure. And for those of you who don't know, if you have a seizure while your seizure is happening, it's causing permanent brain damage. Like it's irreversible. You'll never be able to get that back. So I was really freaking out on the inside. So I called my husband. My husband came straight home from work and we brought him to his pediatrician. His pediatrician was really concerned because it was seizure like activity. They didn't diagnose him with anything like that because if they do later on in life, it can give you problems for trying to get health insurance. Like if they have seizures on your medical history or whatever, a lot of insurances will try to deny you. Be like, oh, if you have this, they'll try to deny you coverage, all of that. So we never actually diagnosed him with anything. Thank goodness. Like, I'm grateful for that. That way it doesn't make his life harder in the long run. So we brought him there and they examined him and he seemed fine. But from everything that I was telling him, describing to them what was going on, they're like, yeah, we need to get a CT scan of his brain. I'm like, great, that's flippin' fantastic. Excuse me. And so at that point, my initial reaction, I was freaking out. And then I prayed. I'm like, Jesus, please don't let anything be wrong. Let my baby be okay. Like, I put him in your hands. You take care of him. And then all of a sudden, I just like got this peace over me. Like, don't worry, mama. I got this. Like, your baby's going to be fine. And we brought them home. That way we could feed them. They said, worst case scenario, he was going to be admitted into Children's Hospital and we would have to stay overnight. So I'm like, oh, wait. So we just packed everything we could into their diaper bag. We had formula, we had bottles, we had wipes, we had baby food, we had everything. Just in case we had to stay, in case he was admitted. So we did that. We fed them, and then we went straight there. And we had to go to the ER. And we're like, "Hey, our doctor sent us over to get a CT." Sorry, I'm moving so much, trying to like balance it on my steering wheel and stuff. Um, trying to. What was I? Oh yeah. That we were getting a CT scan of his brain, and yeah, it freaked me out. It did. And then I felt better. And we were there, and the boys were good. I'm so thankful that they were good because we were there for a good, like, 2 to 3 hours, I'd say. We got there about 5-ish, and we didn't leave till like 8. Yeah, so about 3 hours. Um, they were good. They slept for a little bit, changed their diapers. They were playing with everybody. They liked the fish tanks and all of that kind of stuff. So we were there. We saw the ER doctor on call, and well, not on call, but that was on their shift, whatever. Um, she said he looks great. It seems like nothing's wrong, but when we were talking to his primary care, we um got like all these symptoms, and so I had to tell them again like what happened, blah blah blah. And so I did. They're like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and do the scan. Um, Vernon went back with him. I stayed with Micah, who was like starting to get kind of antsy. So we gave them water, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so went back. Levi was so good because, in case you don't know, for babies, if they, or even little kids, if they move around too much, they can't do the scan, which means they have to put them under in order for them to get an accurate and clear reading. I'm like, oh gosh, no, please don't do that. Like, my baby's only 4 months old. I really hope it doesn't have to happen. So Vernon went with them, and he had, those little projector things that like put the stars or whatever on your ceiling and on the walls. He had one of those going, and Levi loved it. He was looking at them all, and Vernon was talking to him. And the scan was done. I swear, they left and came back within 10 minutes, and he was done. He was like, it was perfect. He was good. We got a really clear reading. Like, everything was awesome. I'm like, thank you, God, for that blessing. That was awesome. So, 4 hours for the results. And we did have to wait a little while, but we didn't have to wait that long. We got his results, and the doctor came and talked to us, and she said that everything was clear, everything was perfectly normal. No sign of seizure, which means no brain damage. Thank Jesus for that too. Um, that our baby was perfectly fine. So she gave us this sheet and a number. Ooh, shoot, I forgot to schedule that. I'll have to call them on Monday to get an EEG done on him as a follow-up test. Why we have to do that, I don't know, but I guess rather be safe than sorry, especially with infants this young. They'd rather catch it before it gets worse because the baby can't tell us what's going on. So yep, gotta call them and do that. So that was crazy. And then Vernon stayed home with us the next day. Sorry, my hair is like, I'm gonna eat small children. He stayed home with us the next day, which was nice, but it was also the day that Devin went to go spend with my sister because I let her spend a day with her. So yeah, and we went to go like grocery shopping and stuff. The boys were kind of crazy. Came home. Last night, one of them did not want to go to sleep, of course, so we had to go on a ride with him, and we took Devin with us too. Excuse me. By that time, we had picked her up and everything, so she came, did the ride with us, whatever. She went to sleep, so he carried Levi and I carried Devin in, because at work he slipped on one of the materials that they're working on, and his whole right side of his back is bruised and it was swollen. Like, it was bad. Like, he couldn't even really lay on it. He couldn't lift anything. Like, he was in so much pain. So that kind of freaked me out because his job is dangerous. Like, since he's been here, I want to say around 6 people have fallen in the river, and they were only able to save 2. So that lets you know that there's a really high risk factor with this job. And then also, the river's really high because of all the snow and everything that's been happening. So when it melts, it comes down the river, and we're at the very bottom where it meets the Gulf and all of that. So it's like crazy. So that was like really concerning and freaking me out. And then also, his job has really been putting a strain on our family. Like, at this point now, I'm so thankful because he's making good money and we're starting to pay off everything that we need to pay off. Like, we're catching up on all of our stuff. We're getting things that we need, which is great, but we never get to see him. He works 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he has to ask and, like, beg for a day off. Honestly, like, I'm not trying to brag, I'm just being honest. I just saw some guy running behind us. I'm like, what? Okay. My husband is a good worker. His whole family has, like, a good work ethic. Because on his mom's side, all of them, they're, like, all military people or medical people. On his dad's side, they're all, like, like carpenters, contractors. Oh, dear, he just texted me. Hold on. Uh-oh. Is it? Yes? No? I think so. I hope I just didn't undo everything that I just did. Oops, left my finger. So, yeah. Whatchamacallit. His job is extremely dangerous, and... Sorry, I'm waiting for him to come off the ship. Basically, he's working on one of the really big, like, barges and everything. So they take little ships to, bring them out there, and they get on the barge and all that kind of stuff. And he just texts me, like, if they're taking a long time, I might have to bring the boys for a ride, blah, blah, blah. So I'm, like, trying to figure out what's going on there. But yeah, so that was kind of really scary. And, we never get to see him. His boss he started off really cool, and now he's become the biggest a-hole ever. Like, I definitely don't like him. This is one of those instances where your parents teach you when you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I have nothing nice to say about this man, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. And I'm sure you get the picture from there. So that's kind of been, like, making us reevaluate life. And so now we're kind of figure out, like, where do we want to go from here? What do we want in our future? Like, we both want to go back to school and finish, and, like, we want to provide a great future for our kids. That way they have something in life, and all of this other kind of stuff, that we're still talking about and still figuring out. Oops, my bad. So, yeah, that's been going on because we were fighting a lot, and it was really unpleasant to where it's like, I don't even know. We've never, ever been like that in our marriage before. Except maybe, like, once. When we were going through a really, really hard time in the beginning of our marriage when we weren't sure we were going to stay together. But ever since then, we've never been through that kind of situation. So, that was hard for us. And yesterday, we, like, broke down, we sat down, we talked to each other, like, what's going on, and and that's when we figured out that, oh no, Levi. That's when we figured out that his job has a big part of it. Like, I missed him, the kids miss him, he misses us, he's never around, he never gets to be a part of anything. Literally, he just comes home to sleep and goes back to work, and it's wearing his body down, it's wearing him down mentally, emotionally, it's affecting me, it's affecting the kids, like, it's a lot on us. Like, yeah, the money is good, but it's never ever worth your family. So we're kind of evaluating that type of thing. And then today, I don't know what's going on, but these boys have been completely off of their schedule, and then normally have them synchronized to where I'm like, okay, I know that they're both gonna need this, they're both gonna need that. Threw the playbook out the window today, boo. Because they were on their own schedules, doing their own things. I'm like, dude, what is going on? And my poor Devin, I love her to death. She's so sweet. She tried to help me as much as she could. She was a part of it as much as she could. And she is honestly such a blessing. And I love her so much. And honestly, I feel so guilty because I feel like she's being cheated out of time with me because I'm mama. So it's always been a big thing. Like, it's been me and her, like, from the beginning. Like, we have a special relationship. And, because my husband was in the military, he wasn't always around. So it was really just me and her, in the beginning. so that's what she knows, that's what she remembers. So I know that it kind of bothers her, and I feel so guilty, but it's like I can't ignore the baby's needs because they're itty bitty yet. And I'm still working on that balance. I'm still working on being able to spend time with like just her and taking care of them. So that's a whole other situation and thing that's been like going on with me. Then I tried to go to Walmart with all 3 of them today. Woo! That was a test. Like, Devin was helping, but not really helping. She was kind of getting in the way by like helping me push stuff, but she was pushing me into other things. I'm like pulling the basket behind me and pushing with one arm the stroller in front of me. So I'm like having to like, oh goodness, it was tough. It was really tough. So oh no, Levi. Yeah, this boat is taking a lot longer than it's supposed to be. Which is not good because he's going to be upset because he's going to be tired and he's hungry. Like, they need to get it together. It's okay, baby. So, yeah. This whole week has just been insane. Just insane and crazy. And as you can see, it's not over yet. And then tomorrow, I'm bringing Devin to sing in our church. It's pancakes and PJs. And it's for like 8:30 a.m. Woohoo! So I have to bring all 3 of them, get them ready. She's wearing PJs, I'm wearing PJs. Like, oh, I don't even know. I don't know how I'm going to manage that tomorrow, but I'm going to make it happen. Because I promised her we were going to go, and I already signed up for it. Oh, my little dude. So, yeah. That is how it's been all day. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I will come back to y'all soon and let you know what's going on. I do have some other stuff I plan on filming, and I'm going to be posting those up next week. But, alright guys, love y'all. Have a beautiful week. Bye!